Dr. Frank T. Etscorn received his bachelor's degree in psychology from Western in 1971. He was awarded a master's degree in experimental psychology from Western in 1973 prior to earning his doctor's degree from Peabody College at Vanderbilt University. Dr. Etscorn is the first patent holder for the nicotine patch to help cigarette smokers break the smoking habit. The patch was hailed as one of the best products in 1992 by Time and Fortune magazines. For his creative work, he received the first New Mexico Inventor of the Year award. He has been featured on Good Morning America, The Today Show, 2020, the Discovery Channel, and in articles in the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Time, Newsweek, and many other national publications, including People magazine. But while all the national recognition was directed his way, he never lost his focus on his students. He received New Mexico Tech's Outstanding Teaching Award in 1990. And I will tell you that on Monday, when he gave a lecture on campus with an auditorium full of people, there was a class there. And Frank directed his comments mostly toward those students, which I thought was just as appropriate as it could be. Dr. Frank Etscorn.
An accident in his laboratory proved a life-changing experience in the career of Western alum Frank Etscorn. The 1971 Western graduate, who also received his master's from WKU, has spent his career involved in a variety of research. But most of the attention he receives is for his development of the first nicotine patch, which helps people in their efforts to quit smoking. The patch was developed by Etscorn after accidentally spilling the drug nicotine on himself while exploring ways to develop flavor aversions. That led to the idea and eventual patenting by Etscorn of introducing nicotine into the body through a smoker's skin via a patch. And while Etscorn's current fame has come through his research at New Mexico Tech, the psychology professor credits his practices to beginnings at Western.
So Western allowed me to do flavor aversion. The professors were great about instructing me and giving me lab space and everything else. So Western had a great deal to do with the nicotine patch. There's no doubt about it. Had I not been in flavor aversion work, there would be no nicotine patch because, quite frankly, everybody else copied mine.
Most of Etscorn's research deals with behavioral psychology, and the Franklin, Kentucky native has also worked in areas of study like chili tolerance and dependence, behavioral effects of electromagnetic fields, and non-toxic, environmentally safe suppression of animal damage. A researcher whose work has already benefited many former smokers, 1993 Hall of Distinguished Alumni honoree, Frank Etscorn.
I don't know where you found that film. That's back when I had hair. I received a notice of this outstanding award. In Wyoming, we get mail 3 days a week, so it was a little bit delayed. And it said I had to prepare a speech. Well, I got to work on it, and I had an absolutely spellbinding speech of approximately 89 minutes long. And I got the second notice that said we were limited to 3 to 5 minutes. At that point, my wife elected to join me on this trip to Western. I can't thank you enough. Western truly allowed me to do the kind of tinkering that life seems to have maybe gifted me with. I thank my mother for allowing me to take apart every electrical device that she ever owned. The car mechanics in Franklin were always glad when I worked on the car because it usually meant that they had quite a repair job on their hands. I can't thank you enough. Life has been very good to me and my wife, Sherry. I have calluses on my body where I wake up every morning and pinch myself. Life couldn't be better. It's very gratifying to know that I hope I have helped a few people quit smoking. As I said the other day, talking about anti-smoking in Kentucky is probably the most dangerous speech I have ever offered to anyone that would listen. And they did listen, and it was very, very enjoyable. It's great to be back in Kentucky, but it's fabulous to be back at Western. The school was very good to me. You might not know it, but my first distinguished pass through Western I think there was a glitch in the computer because my GPA would not print out. There were not enough zeros to the right of the decimal point. I graduated last in my class at BGA in Franklin, Tennessee, and was advised that I shouldn't waste my parents' money going to college. The next logical thing was to get married and have 2 children. Well, a thing to do. I went to UT night school one night. My dad had always wanted me to take business courses. I had absolutely no aptitude whatsoever. I might have eventually passed economics. I thought I was going to major in that one course. I took a class at UT Nashville night school while I was working at Youth Incorporated in the daytime. I took the course from a Vanderbilt neurologist named Larry Penner. I still remember his name. And I thought I had died and gone to heaven. It was the most fascinating thing I'd ever seen or read about in my life. From then on, I might have been an honor student. School was fun. I enjoyed every second of it. I carried home as many books as I could from the UT library every night that I could get on my motorcycle. I read psychology till 4 a.m. just about every night. My wife was a nurse. She would go to nursing to the hospital, and I would babysit. She would come back, and I would go to classes. We did that for a number of years, and she still hasn't chased me off. And I have to admire her for that. I think Western was so important to me to give me another chance, and that's why I'm very appreciative for being up here tonight. Thank you again ever so much.